All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. As part of the Rankin Technical College AWD, or Application and Website Development Program, and in particular, the AWD1112 Application Programming with Java class, I first went through and did, that's interesting, okay, I didn't know it would still bring that up, but it did. All right, let me close that. I first went in and did a series of video presentations on one of the texts we're using for the class, the Java Quick Syntax Reference. But before I go on to the second text we're using for the class, which is Android Fundamentals, basically this Android Developer Fundamentals by the Google Developers Training Team. So before we get into Android, we're looking at some actual Java examples. So we did our first example, Payroll01, where we just hand-coded or hard-coded values in for 9 different variables and then printed them out. That's all fine. That's good. Now let's do number 2. So for this second, I will not hard-code the values in for each of the program variables. Alright, so rather, I will demonstrate one of 2, I'm going to say for lack of words, popular input methods. That being the keyboard.next functions. Okay? Alright. Good news. This will continue to show the viewer how to write Java. And more good news, with this second program, as all of the values are not hard-coded, every time the program runs, the output could potentially be different. All right. Now, in this example, what I'm going to show in here, all right, I think last time I put this, just trying to be a little bit consistent here, I put this up at the very top of the program, even before the package statement. All right, so I'm going to do the same thing here. All right, so this time what I want to do is in between the package and my class statements, all right, I want to come in here and I want to put in here import java.util.scanner. All right, it doesn't look like it likes that. I think it's, is it a capital S? There we go. All right, and if you say I don't know what a scanner is, this is what this program is going to be designed to show. All right, so nothing. I think I just have to make this the empty string. Nothing. We're going to make all of these variables 0. That'll stay false. Nothing. 0.0, 0.0, whoopsie, and 0.0. Yeah, I'm a little bit anal about some of this stuff. Sorry. Good enough. All right. So again, now I am declaring and I'm initializing, yes, but let's go back and change this. This should say declaring and initializing. Okay. Oops, I closed the wrong one. All right. So I'm declaring and initializing, but I'm initializing these to literally nothing. Now it doesn't seem to like that. We'll take that. I guess it takes that, so that's good. All right. In fact, it might be easier right now for the middle initial from what I'm going to use on this. All right, I don't know if there's going to be a char method, so I'm going to make this a string for the employee's middle initial, and then just make this the empty string. Like that. All right. I think everything is now copacetic, as they say. Now, what I want to do is I want to be able, when I run the program, it's going to come in here. This will be gone. I should probably show this too. There is a way that I can come in here. It's been a while, but I can come in here and I can right mouse click, and there's a clear all. There we go. Should get used to doing that more often. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 variables declared and initialized, but just initialized to nothing, false, or whatever. The next thing I want to do is I want to actually create another variable in here. All right. Now I'm going to say create a program scanner variable. Oops. And I'm going to say scanner keyboard, and you can call this anything you want, equals new scanner system.in. Okay, well, let's look at that and even try to figure out what the heck that means. This means that I'm going to be using the keyboard as my standard input device, which it is anyway. But I've got to let this, I'm opening up communication between the keyboard and the program. All right, so now this is going to be different. Okay, and what I mean is now I'm going to input values for program variables above. All right. So I'm going to do a system.out, but I'm not going to do a .print line. I'm going to do a .print, and I'm going to say enter employee first name. All right, and then first name, and actually we call that emp first name, equals new scanner. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not making another scanner. That would be silly. Emp first name equals keyboard dot. Since it's a string, we say dot next line, like this. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit here, and what I mean is all right, I've got my first name, so let's enter the employee middle initial. All right, so this is emp mi. And this will be the last name. So now I've got it where I can input those first three variables. So we've got this handled. All right, then let's go to here next. Again, I'm just going to keep doing this. So after the first name, middle initial, last name, we've got employee age. All right, now next line is what's used for strings. I want to use next byte because age is of type byte. All right, I don't want to say last name here. That's why I'm getting the error. Emp age is the next All right. Next, we need to do our Boolean variable, which is our employee union status. All right. And that, again, is going to be wrong because that's emp is union. And that's not a next line. That's a next Boolean. All right. The next one after that is our employee number. So this will be emp number. And as you might guess, with that being of type integer, it's next int. So now, what are we looking for here? Oh, we changed that to a string. I'm sorry. So that'll again be next line. My error. All right. Now we've got our three doubles. All righty. So let's just grab one of these. And this will be enter employee hours worked. And this will be next double. And that's emp hours worked. All right. Then we need hourly rate. Let's just make it look prettier. Hours worked, hourly rate, and then finally, we don't enter the gross pay. We're done. Gross pay is still hours worked times hourly rate. But now what we've done is we're allowing the user to input values for first name, middle initial, last name, age, union status, employee number, hours worked, and hourly rate. Then we're again printing out all that information. All right, so let's do a file, save all. All right, I'm again going to just right mouse click on this and choose run it. So it's saying that it failed. Deprecated Gradle features were used in this build, making it incompatible. Use ---- warning mode all to show individual deprecation warnings. Well, that's interesting. Because it just worked and now it's not working. So that is interesting. Let's do a file, save all, and let's try to run it from here and see what happens. No, it failed again. One error. Bill failed with exception. See the compiler error output. I don't think terminal's not going to show me anything. Build is just that. It says it worked. And actually, that's the last working one. Logcat isn't going to show me anything. Profiler. And run is where we were. Well, I'll tell you what, because this is already 14 minutes, and I think I've done a fairly decent job of explaining this to you. All right, I've got to get better at being able to run these programs under Android Studio. All right, which right now I am not. So let's see. I'm wondering if I come in here, version control tools. I'm going to go over here to my Sdk Manager, and I want to see if there's. Sometimes you come in here, and what it wants is it wants you to come in and run updates, but I don't see any in here. All right. Got all that stuff installed, so that should all be okay. I can add that, but I don't think that's going to help anything. So I can apply that. and I don't know if this is going to update Gradle for me. Gradle is basically a build system that works in the background, but it is an Android build system. The errors that I'm getting now are not Java errors. They are Android errors. If this problem persists, then what I'll do is I will go in and actually manually install in the Intellij Ide, which is made for Java. You can also run Android off of that. So you might say, well, then why aren't you doing that? Well, the reason is the package that I'm using, all right, Android Studio is what Google, and Google owns Android, all right? It's what Google recommends that you use Android Studio for Android development, all right? Now I'm wondering, when I look here, this is underlined. I'm wondering if I somehow have some kind of an error in my in the class itself. I didn't see anything, but I'll take a quick look when we get done with this. I'm sorry, because all I'm doing is kind of talking in the background while this thing works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause until this finishes. Alright, that is finished, so I'm going to go back to here, and I was just trying to see if it is giving me any error message at all on here. Public class Payroll02, and it's Payroll0 or Payroll02, and it's Payroll02.java, so that's okay. Yeah, I don't see anything that looks as though it's in error, but this is still underlined, and that I don't like. I think I can run this, as the saying goes, till the cows come home, but I don't think that it's going to be any different. I think I'm going to keep getting the error message. So what I'm going to do, good, bad, or indifferent, is I'm going to come out here, and I'm going to come to install Intellij Ide Community Edition. Alright, and come right there, and just so you can see me do this, I'm going to choose the community download. Here's the exe right here, telling me it's got about a minute. Alright, down to about 40 seconds, and when it comes up, what I'm going to do, and you'll see this very quickly, is I am just going to make sure that it's installed. And for the remainder of these, what I will do in the next video is I'll copy both of these payroll programs that I've created so far over into Intellij. Alright, now I'll start making individual projects in there, and I'll do that. Alright, we've got about 10 seconds left on here. And when it comes up, I'm going to right mouse click, of course. If it doesn't come up, if it pops up itself and tells me to run, that's fine. Otherwise, show open when done. Run, might beep and ask me if I can have permission, or maybe there we go. And I'm just going to grab everything that is the default. Alright, create shortcut, desktop shortcut, yeah, I'll add that. Add launchers directory to the path. I don't think I need to do that, so I'm going to do that. JetBrains is fine. Install. I don't believe this is a very long install. Again, sorry that this is taking longer, a lot longer than I wanted it to. When I come back in the next lecture, what I will do is I will start a new project and copy my original Payroll01 into that, run it, make sure it works. Then when I get done, start up a second new project, copy my Payroll02 in there, bring that in, and make sure that also that works. Alright, you can see it's about a third done. Most of these things, it's going to, as always, depend upon the speed of your machine, but it'll typically take anywhere from 1 to 5 minutes. In the next example that I'm going to do in just a little bit in here, all right, what's going to change is I'm going to use what's called an option pane. And what that's going to do is we're not doing any Java GUI, but this will make it about as GUI as we possibly can. We will use an option pane, which is kind of like an input box. And after we use the option pane, all right, we will use a message dialog to print out everything. There we are. We're finished. That's it for this lecture.